You know, it's funny. I started checking out this mapping project website. You can find. You just search for the mapping project, but the URL is mapliberation.org. But I think the mappingproject.org might also work. Anyway, it seems to be limited to just, at least at this point, to Massachusetts. And the funny thing about this, and we all kind of knew this already, but it's a little shocking when you see it displayed, which is why I think they have such a problem with this website. First of all, how many of these things are police departments? And so at first you're like, well, why do they have all these police departments tied to Jewish organizations? And you scroll down here and it tells you, and especially, okay, this is like a big kind of a thing that you see often, that a huge amount of these police departments go to Tel Aviv to train their people. So this is the chief of police, Brian Kai's completes course in counterterrorism held in Tel Aviv, Israel, back in 2014. And so you have a lot of these guys get trained out in Israel, but they also have connections to like the ADL. You also have not all these things are police departments, but this kind of a graphic with these kind of connections is exactly the kind of graphic we need. And have it not just limited to stuff like this. It would be super useful to have an interactive interface like this that showed media companies, nonprofits, who's funding the nonprofits. So for example, during the Obama administration, and probably under Trump as well, a lot of times you'd have the Obama AG fine a company, right? Like I think HSBC would get caught, laundering money for drug dealers or something like that, and they would fine HSBC, which is like the Hong Kong bank. They would they would fine them like some ridiculous amount of money, millions of dollars, and that millions of dollars wouldn't just go into the budget of the federal government or whatever. That money would be funneled to Jewish nonprofits, and so it just becomes this circle jerk. So if you're wondering like how are they so well funded, that's one of the answers to that question. And so if we had some kind of interactive map, I mean, fuck, this is just like I said, this is just Massachusetts. Imagine if they had, or not just Massachusetts. This is this is Massachusetts. Imagine if they had this, in New York or in Washington D.C., or Northern Virginia. If you could show all the connections between Jewish nonprofits, government organizations, media outlets, and obviously you connect that over here to L.A. and stuff. I mean, it would be a very useful tool where you could research some of these organizations that actively persecute white people. And look, this is what they do. This is what the ADL and SPLC does. They do their little hate maps and shit like that. The reason why this got done, and this is primarily talking about Palestine, the struggle for Palestine. And the reason why so often you get stuff like this, and it's always in relation to Palestine, is there's Arabs with money that are willing to bankroll and donate to these kinds of efforts. And the fact of the matter is, there just aren't enough white people with money that are willing to do that. They just, it is what it is. Hopefully that'll change.